I think we're starting to get a better idea of which NFL teams are contenders.
Philly blocks 2 field goals in the same game for the first time in 17 years.
How about we dive into where all 32 teams are stacking up in the latest edition of the NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 32. The Titans put up another abysmal effort and were no match for Daniel Jones' Colts, who cruised to a 41-20 blowout win in Music City. The Titans are now 0-3 and have gotten absolutely nothing going. We knew Cam Ward would be a work in progress, but Tennessee's terrible roster construction does not give the kid much hope for succeeding this year. Number 31, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 30. You can praise their effort all you want, but moral losses are not a thing in the pros. The Jets are now 0-3. The defense that was supposed to be a strength is allowing 31 points per game. Wasn't getting rid of Aaron Rodgers supposed to fix the team culture? Number 30, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 29. After keeping it close against superior opponents in consecutive weeks, the Saints finally showed their true colors in a humiliating 44-13 road loss to the Seattle Seahawks. It's becoming more and more clear that Spencer Rattler is not the long-term starter. Number 29, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 27. Yeesh, stick a fork in them. They're done. Yeah, Miami kept it closer than many expected against the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football, but it was more of the same. The result, another disheartening loss that drops Miami to 0-3. The one in silver lining here is that they have 2 super winnable games with the Jets and Panthers next up on the schedule. Number 28, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 25. Well, all Russell Wilson did was remind everyone that he's washed up in a disgraceful showing on Sunday night. A 22-9 beatdown courtesy of the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Don't worry, Giants fans. Your helpless team will give Jackson Dart meaningful playing time one day. We think.
We want Dart! We want Dart! We want Dart!
Number 27, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 24. CJ Stroud just can't get anything going behind a woeful offensive line without Joe Mixon and Tank Dell, who covered a lot of warts on this unit last year. Already 3 games behind the Colts for first in the AFC South, the Texans sure as heck better beat the 0-3 Titans this Sunday. Number 26, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 31. A very stunning upset. Joe Flacco took advantage of the short field and set up Andre Schmidt's game-winning field goal as Cleveland pulled off the biggest upset victory of the young 2025 season. So, they may have avoided a dreadful 0-3 start, but at what point does Kevin Stefanski realize that Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders should maybe start over Flacco? Number 25, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 28. Carolina's defense finally showed up, forcing Michael Penix Jr. to the bench for the final quarter after picking him off twice. And with the Patriots and winless Dolphins next up on the schedule, well hey, there's a legitimate opportunity here to move above 500. Number 24, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 22. The Patriots kept Aaron Rodgers in check for most of the game and limited Pittsburgh to 203 yards of offense, and they still lost. 2 sloppy home performances have prevented New England from a 3-0 start. It's nice to see Drake May coming along, but how about a ground game that doesn't turn the ball over? Number 23, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 20. Well, 1 week after barely beating a hapless Giants team at home, the Cowboys were humiliated 31-14 by a Chicago Bears team that fell 52-21 to the Lions in Week 2. Oh yeah, and CeeDee Lamb injured his ankle in the first half and did not return. George Pickens threw one of his signature temper tantrums on the sidelines as well. And things got ugly in Big D quickly. Number 22, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 19. This was quite the letdown for the Raiders, who gave up a 41-burger to Washington, who was being led by a backup QB in Marcus Mariota. Superstar tight end Brock Bowers was hardly visible in the 41-24 beatdown. Ashton Genty is hardly making any impact in the ground game too. Defense still stinks, and that was supposed to be Pete Carroll's specialty. Number 21, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 26. 1 win does not mean the season is saved. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was a Caleb Williams-Ben Johnson masterpiece that we all envisioned. Chicago gets another winnable opponent, the Las Vegas Raiders, on Sunday. Number 20, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 18. Well, that was gross. Coming off an impressive blowout road win over Minnesota in Week 2, the Falcons put up a big fat 0 in a humiliating 32-0 road loss to the Panthers. What on earth was that all about? Number 19, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 15. The Broncos season is not over by any means at 1-2, but it's hard not to chalk up the first 3 weeks as a colossal disappointment. Wasn't Bo Nix supposed to take that next step? And wasn't this defense supposed to be in the conversation for football's best? Number 18, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 9. It wasn't a 2-score lead this time, but the Ravens blew another fourth-quarter lead and fell 38-30 to the visiting Lions on Monday night. Not only did Lamar Jackson look human all night long, but Derrick Henry's horrific fumble woes continued, and the defense made approximately 0 pivotal stops in this loss. Now at 1-2, the Ravens have some soul-searching to do with the Chiefs next up on the schedule. Number 17, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 10. Well, Bengals are screwed. Jake Browning is clearly not a capable temporary solution with Joe Burrow sidelined. And this defense already looks worse than last year's group. Yeah, without a doubt, this is one of the most troublesome 2-1 teams in recent memory. Number 16, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 23. Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., and Travis Hunter have all underwhelmed on offense, and yet the Jags still sit at 2-1 following a 17-10 victory over the Texans in a defensive slugfest. It's one thing to beat Carolina and Houston, but the Jaguars will need their big guns to get going with the 49ers, Chiefs, Seahawks, and Rams making up their next 4 games. Number 15, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 21. It certainly wasn't the blowout that many had expected, but the defending AFC champs pulled out a gutsy road win against the Giants to avoid a disastrous 0-3 start. Hey, Andy Reid's squad had to start somewhere. We'll see if they can keep the momentum going against a more formidable opponent, the Baltimore Ravens, on Sunday. Number 14, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 17. Believe it or not, that is Seattle's first victory at Lumen Field since November 24th of last year, and it's about darn time. While Sam Darnold gets more accustomed to Seattle's offense, Mike McDonald's defense continues to lead the way. They're allowing just 15.6 points per game heading into Thursday night's matchup with Arizona. Number 13, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 12. Arizona dropped a defensive slugfest to the NFC West rival San Francisco 49ers, but that's only part of the concern. The ultra-reliable James Conner is done for the season with a gruesome ankle injury, and we're still waiting for the Murray-Marvin Harrison Jr. connection to actually take off. Number 12, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 16. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers were able to take down those pesky Patriots 21-14 for their first win at Gillette Stadium since 2008. Pretty crazy. Now, it's on to Dublin, with the Steelers meeting the Vikings in the first ever NFL game in Ireland. Number 11, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 14. Kevin O'Connell runs the ultimate QB-friendly system. Carson Wentz operated the Vikings offense like clockwork, and Brian Flores' defense rebounded from a tough Week 2 performance to crush the Joe Burrow-less Bengals. 48 points with a backup QB in.
Give it up for Carson Wentz.
Number 10, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 13. Jaden Daniels got to rest up while Marcus Mariota led Washington to a 41-24 humiliation of the visiting Raiders. 201 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns is gonna do that for you. And here were so many folks freaking out over one loss to Green Bay on a short week. Number 9, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 4. The Rams will be kicking themselves for blowing a 19-point second-half lead to the Eagles, and rightfully so. Also, someone will want to remind kicker Joshua Carty the importance of getting your launch angles down. But Sean McVay's group is still sitting pretty at 2-1. Number 8, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 3. Holy, that was a letdown of a loss for the Packers, who gift-wrapped a victory to the lowly Cleveland Browns on Sunday. Hey, blame special teams all you want, but a Jordan Love-led offense should muster more than 10 points after statement wins over the Lions and Commanders. Number 7, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 7. After putting up 52 on the Bears, Jared Goff and the Lions won a thrilling shootout over the Ravens in Lamar Jackson's barn. Goff, David Montgomery, and Amon-Ra St. Brown went full beast mode in that statement victory on Monday night. And now, they're back in a tie for tops in the NFC North. Number 6, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 11. Well, I think it's safe to classify Kyle Shanahan's 49ers as legitimate Super Bowl contenders again. The 49ers are 3-0 with 2 tough wins against divisional foes. Despite being nowhere even close close to full strength. That is a testament to Shanahan's coaching, all right. Number 5, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 8. The good vibes in Indy continued with a predictable destruction of a lousy Titans team on Sunday. Daniel "The Goat" Jones played MVP-like football again, and vintage Jonathan Taylor showed up with 102 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Throw in another uninspiring Texans loss, and the Colts have a clear-as-day path to their first division crown since 2014. Number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 6. Sheesh. Baker Mayfield for MVP, anyone? For the 3rd straight week, Mayfield bailed out his defense by orchestrating a surgical game-winning drive in the final minute. And he did it all without top wide receiver Mike Evans for the final stretch. Number 3, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 5. We're used to watching the Bolts blow should-be wins, but here they are at 3-0 following a 3rd straight clean and crisp victory over an AFC West rival. It's time to stop doubting the Chargers. They are truly for real. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 2. It was maybe a little closer than they wanted, but the Bills prevailed with a nail-biting win over the Dolphins to move to 3-0. With their 3 division foes combined for just 1 win, we'd like to offer an early congrats to the Bills on a 6th straight division crown. Number 1, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 1. That is just how good the defending champs are, folks. They can play as badly as possible for 45 minutes against a championship-caliber opponent and still win. Come on, is there really a debate about their spot as the number 1 team? But hey, who do you think is the NFL's best team entering Week 4? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around at TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.